Some Bernie Sanders supporters decided to protest a big money fundraiser that Hillary Clinton was doing at George Clooney's house. And they threw dollar bills at her motorcade as it drove by. So how did the media take this story and twist it to distract from the main point, which is the legalized bribery in the system and the money in politics? Let's find out.
The video we just showed of the Senator Sanders supporters tossing these $1,000 and $1 bills at the Clinton motorcade. Is it stupid? Is it more than that? I'm curious. She's the only female running for president, and it's dollar bills. It's imagery. I'm curious if you read anything more into that.
I think it's stupid. I think that they have money to throw away, literally, and that it's not changing anything, and that he should collect that money and to make certain that Democrats in the House and Senate be able to support it.
The unfavorable opinion, when they look at Democratic candidates, the opinion of them, 56% negative Democrat registered voters on her, okay? Sanders, 36. That's really where you want to be. Nobody's really ever above anything close to 40 in these kinds of things. What does that mean here and moving forward?
Well, I think it means she's got something she's got to overcome. Let me suggest to you, because some of her strategists have said this kind of quietly, it's not really sort of a big thing on the campaign trail, is that a lot of this is sexism. I mean, it's buried so deep that people just say, well, I don't trust her, she doesn't keep her. And then you turn around and say, well, what politician does? You know, I mean, the governor of New York, of course, is an exception, right? But, I mean, politicians all the time, they change their opinions, they move here, they move there. With Hillary Clinton, though, it seems to be something that's just completely unacceptable. You know, everybody raises money from all kinds of sources.
Not the
She's the one they throw dollar bills at. I think there's an element of that.
That may be the dumbest point I've ever heard in my life. He's arguing, well, I mean, look, all politicians lie. All politicians raise money and get legally bribed. So people only seem to care about it when it's Hillary Clinton. Wait, what? Have you not been listening to anything that liberals and progressives have been saying for decades now? No, obviously we're not okay with it when men do it either. So ironically, he's guilty of what he's accusing the liberals of being guilty of, because you're the one that is arguing for, well, maybe you shouldn't attack her when she raises money and when she flip-flops and when she lies because she's a woman. So who's the sexist one here? What a joke this is. Are you kidding me? So in one fell swoop, he took all of the policy substance reasons why people are against Hillary Clinton and for Bernie Sanders, brushed them aside and said, sexism. It's just got to be sexism. It's sexism. And for what Brooke Baldwin said in the first clip there, what she's talking about is, oh, is it something deeper than just stupidity? Right, it's stupid to protest money in politics. No, I think you arguing against it is stupid. But what she's talking about is, oh, throwing money in the air and a woman being there. That's something that happens in strip clubs. It's like you're making it rain on her. That is definitely sexism. Oh, please. I mean, the way that they're able to twist things, it's actually incredibly creative on one hand. Like, it's such utter bullshit, but it is creative. Like, you know what this made me think of? It's like if somebody did a protest about, oh my God, she voted for the Iraq War, hundreds of thousands of people died there. So somebody does a protest where, for example, they lay on the street and like they have some fake blood around them and they pretend to be, you know, a victim of the Iraq War, and somebody's holding a sign that points that out or whatever. And, these people on CNN can come out and say, oh, I see what you're doing here. You're using blood, men, women menstruate, they get their period. You don't do the blood protest when it comes to men. You only do it when it comes to women. Why are you using blood? Are you trying to say something about her period? Are you trying to say something about her menstruation? I think you're sexist for doing this. Well, look at what you're doing. Oh my God, this is so sexist. You're using blood. Obviously, you're referring to periods, and she has one, and the other people don't. And obviously, you're okay with voting for the Iraq War when men do it, but you're not okay when she doesn't. No, all of that is completely and utterly made up. How about instead of straw manning progressives and liberals and putting in their head what you want them to believe, you listen to what they're actually fucking saying. People will tell you, if you talk to somebody who supports Bernie Sanders over Hillary Clinton, they will give you a fucking essay on the reasons why they support her. Him over her. They'll say, okay, well, the Iraq War is probably the biggest one. Hundreds of thousands of people dead. War that cost trillions of dollars. Hey, the vote on the Patriot Act. She may not have realized it at the time, but she voted for the bill that ended up taking away our Fourth Amendment rights. There's no more protection from unreasonable search and seizure. The NSA can spy on us all day long, and there's no recourse for it. Hey, there's no Eighth Amendment protection from cruel and unusual punishment. No more due process, no more habeas corpus. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. Hey, she supported outsourcing deals, so-called free trade deals. Like, she supported NAFTA, for example. She lobbied for the TPP 45 times before she was against it. We can give you so many specific policy substance reasons, and their only rebuttal, because they can't respond to that. They can't respond to it because we're right, we're more liberal on these issues. What do? They pivot, they deflect, and they say, sexist. You must be sexist because she's a woman. Well, if you're saying that she should get a special pass because she's a woman, so you're not allowed to disagree with her for policy substance reasons, then again, ironically, you would be the sexist one because you're not in favor of equality. You're not in favor of equality. You're in favor of special rights for her as a woman to be above criticism when it comes to horrific votes like the Iraq War vote, the Patriot Act vote, her stance on the various outsourcing deals. You're saying, no, you can't treat her the same as you would treat a man. You have to treat her with special rules because she's a woman, and if you don't, you're sexist, even though ironically I'm saying I'm setting up special rules for women, which would make me sexist, but pay no attention to that because I'm going to do my hacky fucking political attacks right now, and we're going to smear you. Guys, at face value, it's absurd. Bernie calls himself a feminist. He has the majority of young millennial women voting for him, many of them feminist. He has male feminists voting for him. He literally is the most liberal senator in the Senate. And you're going to strawman him and smear him and call him sexist because he and his people dare to do substantive protests against her. Hey, I don't like the fact that you raised $675,000 from Goldman Sachs in a few speeches. You made more from one speech, $225,000, than Bernie Sanders made in an entire year. You and your husband, the Clinton family, has raised $3 billion from special interests in your lives. In just personal speaking fees, when you go and you give speeches to corporations and various rich people, you guys have made over $100 million. We think that affects you because we're not stupid. We think one of those people, when one of them picks up the phone and calls you, if/when you're president, you're going to listen to them. You're going to care more about them than some random grandmother in Wyoming. That's why we're concerned. We don't like the corruption. We don't like the legalized bribery. We want to fundamentally change that system. One candidate is promising to do that. The other one is not promising at all to do that. And in fact, when you bring it up, the counter argument is sexist. Beyond pathetic.